I'll never forget the morning Robert walked into my office. At 64, this once vibrant construction foreman looked like a shadow of himself. His shoulders slumped forward, his voice barely above a whisper as he told me something that broke my heart. "Doc, I feel like I'm disappearing," he said, staring at his hands. "My wife made me come here because I spend most days on the couch now. I used to build houses, lead crews, work 12-hour days without breaking a sweat. Now I can barely make it to the mailbox without feeling wiped out." Robert's story hit me harder than usual because I'd been hearing it more and more in my practice. After 3 decades of helping men navigate the challenges that come with getting older, I was seeing a troubling pattern. Men in their 60s and beyond were losing their spark at an alarming rate. Not just physical energy, though that was certainly part of it, but their overall zest for life. "I wake up tired, I go to bed tired, and everything in between feels like I'm swimming through mud," Robert continued. "My grandson asked me to throw a baseball with him last weekend, and after 5 minutes, I had to sit down. The look on his face. Doc, I felt like I was letting everyone down, especially myself." What Robert didn't know, what most men his age don't realize, is that this crushing fatigue isn't just getting old. It's not something you have to accept as inevitable. Your body is trying to tell you something important, and I've learned that sometimes the most powerful solutions come from the most unexpected places. In Robert's case, like so many others I've treated, the answer wasn't found in a prescription bottle or a complicated medical procedure. It was hiding in plain sight, right in his own kitchen. 3 simple foods that most people walk past every day at the grocery store, completely unaware of their incredible power to transform how a man feels, thinks, and lives. I've watched these 3 foods work what can only be described as miracles in my practice. Men who couldn't climb a flight of stairs without gasping found themselves hiking trails again. Husbands who had lost interest in romance discovered that spark returning to their relationships. Grandfathers who felt too tired to play with grandchildren were suddenly building tree houses and teaching bike riding again. The science behind why these foods work is fascinating, but what matters most to me, and to men like Robert, are the real-world results. I'm talking about waking up refreshed instead of groggy, having energy that lasts throughout the day instead of crashing after lunch, feeling strong and capable instead of fragile and tired. Before I share these 3 life-changing foods with you, I want you to understand something crucial. What you're experiencing, that bone-deep exhaustion, that feeling like your body is betraying you, it's not your fault. Your body has been working hard for 6 decades or more. It deserves support, not judgment. And with the right fuel, it's capable of amazing things, even now. 6 months after our first meeting, Robert bounded into my office with an energy I hadn't seen since he first walked through my door. Actually, bounded might be the wrong word for a 64-year-old man, but there was definitely a spring in his step that hadn't been there before. "Doc, you're not going to believe this," he said, settling into the chair across from my desk, with a grin that stretched from ear to ear. "Last weekend, I helped my son move into his new house. Not just supervised, actually moved furniture, carried boxes, worked alongside guys half my age. And you know what? I felt better at the end of the day than I had in years." This transformation didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't magic. It started 3 months earlier when Robert came back to my office, desperate for answers that didn't involve a handful of pills every morning. That's when I told him about the 3 foods that had been quietly changing lives in my practice. The first food I introduced him to was something he'd probably eaten 1,000 times but never thought of as medicine: dark leafy greens, particularly spinach. Now, I know what you're thinking. Spinach doesn't sound very exciting. But here's what most people don't understand about spinach and its green cousins like kale and Swiss chard. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. After decades of use, that hose can get a little stiff, a little narrow. It doesn't carry water as efficiently as it used to. Dark leafy greens work like a gentle massage for your blood vessels, helping them stay flexible and open. When your blood can flow more easily, everything works better. Your brain gets the fuel it needs to think clearly. Your muscles get the oxygen they crave. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood throughout your body. Robert started adding a big handful of spinach to his morning eggs. Nothing fancy, just spinach, scrambled in with his usual breakfast. Within 2 weeks, he noticed he wasn't reaching for that third cup of coffee by 10 a.m. By the end of the first month, his afternoon energy slumps had almost disappeared. The second food took Robert by surprise: beets. He'd never been a fan, thought they tasted too earthy, too weird. But I explained to him that beets are like premium fuel for your body's engine. Regular gas will get your car running, but premium fuel makes it purr. Beets contain natural compounds that help your body use oxygen more efficiently. Imagine your body as a factory. Every cell is a worker, and oxygen is their main tool. When workers have better tools, they can get more done with less effort. That's exactly what happens when you eat beets regularly. Your body becomes more efficient at using the oxygen you breathe, which means you feel less tired doing the same activities. Robert started drinking a small glass of beet juice every morning. I warned him his urine might turn slightly pink, a harmless side effect that shows the beneficial compounds are working. 3 weeks later, he called me from his nephew's wedding. "Doc, I danced for 2 hours straight last night." 2 hours? My wife couldn't believe it. Neither could I. The third food was the real game changer: walnuts. Most people think of nuts as a snack, something to munch on while watching TV. But walnuts are like little powerhouses for your brain and body. They're packed with healthy fats that your body uses to build and repair cells, especially in your brain. Here's something most men don't realize. As we age, our brains need more support, not less. Your brain is like the CEO of your body. When it's functioning well, everything else follows suit. The healthy fats in walnuts are like premium building materials for your brain cells. They help your brain communicate more effectively with the rest of your body. Robert started eating a small handful of walnuts every afternoon, usually around 3 p.m. when he used to feel his energy crash. The change was subtle at first, just a bit more mental clarity, a little less brain fog, but over time, the effects compounded. He found himself remembering things better, thinking more clearly, feeling more like his old sharp self. "It's like someone turned the lights back on in my head," he told me during one visit. "I'm making decisions faster, remembering names better, even coming up with jokes again. My wife says I'm acting more like the man she married 40 years ago." The beauty of these three foods is how they work together. The spinach helps your blood vessels stay healthy and flexible. The beets make your body more efficient at using oxygen. The walnuts support your brain function and overall cellular health. Together, they create a foundation for energy that goes far beyond what any single supplement or medication could provide. But here's the part that really excites me as a doctor. These foods don't just mask symptoms or provide temporary energy boosts. They actually help your body function better at a fundamental level. They're working with your body's natural systems, supporting them, enhancing them. After watching hundreds of men transform their lives with these three simple foods, I've come to think of them as nature's energy formula. Not because they're stimulants, they won't make you jittery like too much caffeine, but because they help your body remember how to create and sustain natural energy. Think of your body like a classic car that's been sitting in a garage for too long. It's not broken. It just needs the right fuel, the right maintenance, the right care to purr like it used to. These three foods are like giving your body premium oil, high-octane fuel, and a tune-up all at once. The spinach works like a master mechanic, keeping all your internal pathways clean and flowing smoothly. Every morning when you eat those dark, leafy greens, you're giving your blood vessels a gentle cleaning. You're providing your body with natural compounds that help everything work more efficiently. It's like having a skilled technician fine-tune your engine every single day. The beets are your premium fuel. Just like you wouldn't put low-grade gasoline in a luxury car, your body deserves fuel that helps it perform at its best. When you drink that small glass of beet juice or add roasted beets to your dinner, You're giving your body the tools it needs to use oxygen more effectively. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your muscles get more of what they need. Your brain gets the fuel it craves. The walnuts are like the best motor oil money can buy. They keep everything running smoothly, reduce friction between moving parts, and protect your most important components from wear and tear. When you eat a handful of walnuts every day, you're not just snacking. You're maintaining your body's most crucial systems. But here's what I love most about this approach. It's sustainable. You're not depending on pills that might cause side effects or treatments that cost a fortune. You're working with foods that humans have been eating for thousands of years. Your body knows exactly what to do with these nutrients. I tell my patients to start slowly. Add spinach to your eggs 3 times a week. Try a small glass of beet juice every other day. Eat a handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack instead of reaching for cookies or chips. Pay attention to how you feel, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. Most men start noticing changes within 2 to 3 weeks. First, they sleep a little better. Then they wake up feeling more refreshed. The afternoon energy crashes become less severe. They find themselves wanting to do things again. Take walks, work in the garden, play with grandchildren. By the second month, the changes become more obvious to others. Wives notice their husbands seem more engaged, more present. Children see their fathers participating more actively in family activities. Friends comment on how much better they look, how much more energy they seem to have. The third month is when the real magic happens. This is when men start feeling like themselves again, not the tired, worn-down version they've become accustomed to, but the vibrant, energetic person they remember being. They start planning trips they've been putting off. They say yes to social invitations instead of making excuses. They rediscover hobbies and interests that had fallen by the wayside. This isn't about turning back the clock or pretending you're 20 years old again. This is about being the best version of yourself at whatever age you are. It's about having the energy to enjoy your life, to be present for the people you love, to pursue the things that matter to you. The best part? These foods don't just help with energy. Men in my practice report better mood, clearer thinking, improved sleep, and yes, even renewed interest in romance. When your body is functioning well, everything else tends to follow suit. As I write this, Robert is planning a fishing trip to Alaska with his grandson, something he never would have considered when he first walked into my office feeling exhausted and defeated. He's not superhuman now, and he's not pretending to be 20 years younger. He's simply a 65-year-old man who feels good in his own skin again. That's what I want for every man reading this. I want you to remember what it feels like to wake up refreshed, to have energy that carries you through your day, to feel strong and capable and alive. I want you to stop accepting fatigue and exhaustion as inevitable parts of aging. Your body has carried you faithfully for 6 decades or more. It has weathered stress, injury, illness, and countless challenges. It deserves your respect, your care, and your support. These 3 simple foods, spinach, beets, and walnuts, are one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. Start tomorrow morning. Add spinach to your breakfast. Pick up some beet juice at the grocery store. Buy a bag of walnuts and keep them handy for afternoon snacking. Don't overthink it. Don't complicate it. Just begin. Your future self will thank you. Your family will notice the difference. Most importantly, you'll remember what it feels like to truly live, not just exist. The energy, the vitality, the zest for life you thought was gone forever. It's still there, waiting for you to reclaim it. Dr. Catherine Morgan, Men's Vitality Specialist. Take care of yourself. Dr. Catherine Morgan, Men's Vitality Specialist.